News of the ceasefire in Iran brought down oil prices and moved stocks higher. But is this reprieve temporary, or will the truce calm the economic crisis many Americans have been facing? News Nation national correspondent Alicia Nieves is live on Wall Street with the latest. And Alicia, Wall Street seems to be loving this 11th hour deal, but I'm curious if that boom is going to hold.
Yeah, that's like the multi-trillion-dollar question, and certainly one that Wall Street will try to kind of answer throughout the session today, when the markets open later on this morning. But I got to say, Wall Street really called this deadline being extended. Yesterday, markets across the board were lower all day. And then minutes before the close, we saw all these buzzer-beating bets kind of coming in, and markets rallying, major averages, most of them ending the day to the upside, really on the idea of what's called kind of the taco trade. And this version of it is the president extending the deadline. And then sure enough, less than an hour before the president had that 8 p.m. deadline, we saw him take to Truth Social and post this announcement that, we're going to have this 2-week ceasefire. And I want to show you oil charts because just minutes after the president made that announcement, we saw oil plummet some 15%, going from well over $100 a barrel to down as low as $91 a barrel. We haven't seen that in quite some time. And that's led to markets just immediately shooting up. The Dow this morning, I know we've got a few hours to the open, but looking to open well over 1,000 points to the upside. These are very rare swings. I've said it before, only about a dozen or so in the history of the Dow have we seen these swings, and that's looking to happen, today. The big question is what you said, Marky. Will this last? We've seen these kind of swings over the last 5 or 6 weeks since this conflict has started, and Wall Street's going to try to gauge to see if this has lasting powers. If it does, it really could be significant, not only for Wall Street, but for Main Street as well, Marky.
Yeah, the other big question is, what does this mean for all the prices that we're paying, that we have watched skyrocket over the past 5 or 6 weeks? I mean, I understand this ceasefire deal seems very conditional and very fragile, but if it does hold, what does it mean for America's gas prices, you think?
It could be significant. I mean, people were dealing with gas prices that are, well over $1, what they, paid, ahead of this conflict. If we see the ceasefire hold, if we see the 2-week, this 2 weeks of it, and we see the Strait of Hormuz start to open, that means oil prices start to come down. That'll be beneficial to Wall Street. But again, for Main Street, that'll be beneficial to prices at the pump coming down lower. But not only that, you got to look at diesel prices. I know we focus a lot on, what people are paying for their average car. Diesel prices right now, and until they actually come down, they are sky high, well over $5 a national average, $5 and I believe 67 cents. This is just 15 cents or just under 15 cents shy of the all-time high. I point to diesel first and foremost, really because it has the impact on, transportation costs and really elevating the cost for almost every item that we ship or that we get. And that has lasting inflationary pressures. The most consequential that we, obviously most people are paying first and foremost is at the pump. And that could be the first potential relief here. National average for gas is around $4.16. Again, well over $1 over, what people were paying 5 or so weeks ago. So this, again, could have significant impacts. Most analysts, though, say, Marky, and I've got to warn, that we've hit the point right now that even if prices start to come down, it could be a while before they come down to where they were ahead of this conflict. Marky?